Welcome to Your Daily Bread with Bishop Eric Kincaid Clark, where he is inspiring us to maximize our potential.
Grace and peace be unto you from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm Bishop Eric Kincaid Clark. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up, rise and shine, and good morning. All is well on this end. I pray all is well on your end. Good morning to you. Who's on? Good morning, Elaine. LaShonda, good morning. All right. Good stuff I want to talk about today. Hopefully y'all got something to say and add to it. Oh man, I'm telling you, I'm coming across some stuff. Reading. Interesting stuff. Interesting perspectives, different thoughts and ideas. Ruth and Elvis, God bless you. Others, come on in. Like it, share it, follow, subscribe, make a little noise. Let's get the people in and on. Okay, I don't have a lot of time. This time is going to get ate up real quick today. Good morning, John, Khalil, Carol, Carson, good morning. Good to see the brothers on this morning. Elvis and John, Khalil. Others, come on in. I'm going to talk about raising a son today. Raising a son. Without a doubt, raising a son is very different from raising a daughter. Some would say boys are easier. I've heard a lot of women say that if you have kids, and these are women with kids, both kids, male and female, and they will say the boys are easier because they don't need all of the little attention. Raising a boy, they will say that girls are very feminine or emotional, sensitive. You know, their feelings are hurt. They have so many ideas about a lot of things. Boys just keep it simple. They just want to play and they want to eat. Girls, you know, they have a lot of other things. Raising boys, raising girls. The earthquake in Turkey and Syria is claimed now. I think they have tipped over 50,000 people. 50,000 lives have been claimed. And again, the parallel story is that they didn't build the buildings right. They didn't use the right materials. There were certain materials that were not used in the concrete that makes it stronger. There were certain, some of the buildings, the framing of the building, the structure integrity of the building was not up to code. They cut corners, and it has cost thousands of people their lives. Over 50,000. We don't know exactly how many people have been killed or hurt, injured as a result of faulty construction. But they say, one of the articles that I came across said that the earthquake was an act of God, but the number of deaths was the negligence of men. That the bigger part of that number, 50,000 people that are dead, do not have to be dead, should not be dead if they built the building right. We know anytime you build something, it starts with the foundation. If the foundation is strong and sure, the building has a good potential of standing and lasting. Christ himself gave us the parable of the one who built a house on the sand and another who built a house on the rock. I have opened up in my teachings that the sand is small fragments of the rock. If you grind the rock down, it can become very fine like sand. And so literally people are building their lives on a piece of the rock, a part of. They got some of the stuff, but they don't have the whole thing. And I certainly employed that ideology in this conversation concerning raising a son. Raising a son. You got to have the right tools. Good morning, everyone. If you're here, make some noise. Let me know that you're on. I want to know who's on. Who am I talking to? Hey, Cheryl. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Thelma and Nora. Elaine, again, Minister Andre, Mother Clark, God bless you. Karima, Andrea, Betty, Carol, others are on. If you're on, make some noise. I want to know you're on. Y'all make a lot of noise. Let me ask the question. Which one is easier to raise from your perspective? Ladies and gentlemen, is it easier to raise a boy? Is it easier to raise a girl? What was your experience? And what are your thoughts? The boy is easier. The girl is easier. I don't know. You would think that a woman, being a girl, would, I don't know, be more adapted to dealing with a girl. Whereas being a boy, I don't know. Which one is easier? Which one is easier? Elaine said, your girl. The boy was always easier. Pastor Lenora says the boy. Well, you had 3 boys, 2 you gave birth to, and the other one you just embraced. And all these other sons around me, you embraced, but your ideal is that the boys were easier. And I think, I don't know if y'all women are talking about getting them dressed, putting their shoes and changing a diaper, or making them sit down, or use the potty, or learn to walk, or I don't know, their hair. You know, sometimes say the boys, because their hair, you just comb their hair, brush their hair, and go on about it. But the girls, you got to labor, you got to do all this stuff. Then they want to get pretty. And I don't know if that's, the thing that influences. Well, let's move beyond the toddler stage, the baby stage, the toddler stage, and get into the adolescence, the young teenage years, raising a son, raising an African-American son, raising a Black son is challenging in this world that we live in today. After pastoring 32 years, I must admit that one of the hardest challenges is men, ministering to men, serving men, and getting men to understand their role and the importance of men in the family, in the society, in the church, in roles of leadership. And that has been hard. I've written a book, I've preached around the country, and even in my Maximize Your Potential University, I have a course, The Making of a Man, is phenomenal. It's 20 times the content and impact of the book itself. I'm telling you, that course is amazing. I want everybody, ladies, I want you to take the course. Men, I want you to take the course. Even those that are senior men and you're older, you need to give it to your kids, your son, your daughter, women and men, parents and children, teenagers. I mean, everybody needs to hear this teaching because it's so relative. It's rudimentary. It's foundational. It's the basis. It's why I see a lot of women are in a dilemma now because there was no man in their life. They don't know how to pick a man, find a man, what a man looks like. And then a lot of young men who become men don't know what to do. They have had no model. They've had no blueprint. They're trying to figure things out. They're shooting from their waist. Their whole life is being lived like jazz. They're just making it up as they go because there has not been a model. There's not been a blueprint. In a lot of instances, the only male figure that they saw was a pastor or a teacher, a coach, and then images that are projected on television. And they could be skewed, okay, because that's for entertainment and that's scripted. But in real life setting, there are so many young men that have not had their father in our communities. There's so many young men that were not raised with their father in the house, that have not lived under a roof where they saw a man married to a woman. How to treat a woman, how to talk to a woman, how to support a woman, how to go to work, how to be faithful, how to communicate, how to listen, how to be corrected, how to be in a relationship where there's partnership, how to mediate conflict. Like young boys, a lot of them have never seen how to do this. A lot of times a young boy, he's looking for identity. He wants to, like, who am I? Who is a man? Who is a black man? Who is a black man in America? What am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to be? And this is one of the biggest challenges of my life, teaching and preaching and trying to inspire young men in the communities I pastored in, grew up in, lived in all my life. The drug dealer. I would say out of 10, how many out of 10 young men would you say have either sold drugs or used illegal drugs? How many out of 10? I'm not talking about some statistics that we could find, some report. I'm talking about from the community that you know. How many young black men grew up and at some point or another, they smoke weed, they use crack, they shot heroin up in their veins, they were on some kind of illegal drug. They used it or they sold it. What do y'all think those numbers are? My projections, let me give y'all a little time. Okay, Cheryl, you say about 8 out of 10. Wow, that's scary. That's scary. And yet, that's your perception. I hope you're not being facetious. You're not being sarcastic. If that's what you think, like in the community I grew up in, Kinsman in Union, 93rd area, 93rd Kinsman, Union, John Adams community. I grew up on Reno, right? Out of 10, I'd say 7. You say 8, I'd say 7 out of 10 either sold drugs or used drugs. 7 out of 10 at some point. 7 out of 10. Yeah, Angela, you and I are about the same. 7 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Mother Clark, you say 8 out of 10. Anybody else want to chime in? Y'all get in the conversation. Come on, get in the conversation. Because I'm going somewhere. I'm really going somewhere. I believe that the marriage is the foundation for the family. Well, family has been redefined, but I believe that God's original intent was for the marriage to be the foundation of the family. So you get a man and a woman, they get married, then they have kids, and that constitutes a biblical pattern of what we see as God's original intent. But today we have families with no marriage and no man. There's no man and there's no marriage, but that's family. And then there are those men that got their kids. You got most women with their kids. And then you got a lot of young men, even some of you all, no disrespect. I don't mean no disrespect here, but even some of you all could look back and count on one hand. I don't know if it'll take 2 hands for you to count the number of men that were in your life, in and out of your life as a result of the relationships that your mom had, trying to make her life work. And it's no shade on mama. It's just that she got in a relationship with this man, didn't work, got in a relationship with this man, didn't work, got in a relationship with this man, didn't work, got in a relationship with this man. So if there were 10 men that she tried to have a relationship with, even the father, your father, right? on that list of reasons why it didn't work are, here's the things why it didn't work. She had some problems too, but on the other side, here's a list of why it didn't work. He used drugs. He sold drugs. He was a criminal. He was abusive. He would hurt me. He physically hurt me, and he would verbally hurt me. He didn't work a job, or he had an addiction. He cheated. He was a womanizer. He was bisexual. He wouldn't keep a job. He would get a job and he'd get on the right track, but he couldn't keep a job. He didn't have business skills. He didn't have management skills. He didn't have communication skills. He was a grown man in a young boy's body, he was a young boy in a grown man's body. He never matured. He lacked so much. He was a mama's boy. He was more like a girl. And I'm not talking about a homosexual or effeminate man. I'm talking about he was not a leader. He wouldn't provide. He wouldn't protect. He wouldn't direct. He didn't have any vision. Like, am I right? Am I making this up? Or are there other reasons? What did I leave out, y'all? What did I leave? What did I leave? Carol says 7 out of 10. What did I leave out, y'all? What did I leave? Like, why didn't it work? Think about the ladies, the ladies that are on that are single. You've dated this one, that one, the other one. Why didn't it work? Why didn't y'all go on to get married? He didn't want to get married. He liked to play the field. He was, I don't know, he see himself as a unicorn lucky charm, a unicorn, what you call it? Whatever. 4-leaf clover man. What's the lucky charm guy? He's a leprechaun. He's rare. That's what I'm just trying to say. Just find a man. He got a job, and he got a job. He decent, and he got a job. He got a lot of options. I talk to some brothers. I see brothers that ain't hardly got too much of nothing going on, and they got a lot of options. And they got a hand. They playing a hand, and each card in their hand represents a woman. Why? Because these women are hopeful and desirous. But why doesn't he go ahead and marry them? And one of the tricks that the enemy puts on women is that the reason, like it's something wrong with you. They start making you look internal, or the enemy tricks you to think something wrong with me. I lack this. I need to get this together. I'm not this enough. Okay. I'm too light, I'm too heavy, I'm too short, I'm too tall, I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm too strong, I'm too weak, I'm too whatever. Okay. And it's not, I would say 9 out of 10 times it ain't that. Now you do have some challenges, but that ain't why he didn't marry you. He didn't marry you because he not ready. He don't know how to be a husband. He don't know how to love. He's never been trained to love. He don't understand the ideal of commitment. He don't understand the ideal of faithfulness. He don't understand the ideal of integrity. He don't have a model for family life. He don't have a blueprint. He don't have a grandfather or a father even. And sometimes not even uncles that got married and stayed with their wife and their family and raised their kids and was a protector, was a provider, was a counselor, was a confidant, was a leader, was a covering to his family. He don't have that. So the lack of males, the lack of fathers, the lack of trained men, raised men, godly men even, is a major, y'all, it is a major problem in our world today. Our churches are filled with women. Yeah. Well, even that's questionable now. But yeah. Where are the men? Do you know the families would come to church if men came to church? If men came to church, the families would come to church. Now, my mom led us to church. My grandmother, she led her family to church, and my mom led me to church. And I led my kids to church. Praise God. Now they own men now, and I be having these conversations with them. But you got to lead your family to church, like, your woman or your wife, Will she serve God? If you serve God, oh man, forget about it. Dude, if you become a Muslim, she'll become a Muslim. If you become a Christian, she'll become a Christian. And y'all women, y'all know I ain't making this up. Y'all know I am not making this up. If you say we're moving to California, if you the man, that's what y'all doing. Y'all moving to California, dude. You say we about to move to Texas. We about to move to Mississippi. If you the man, dude, your wife and family gonna follow you. One of the major problems in our community is we don't have male role models. We don't have men that really buy into or believe in marriage. Our society, even today, is cultivating a marriageless future. There's a lot of reasons why. I mean, I heard this presentation on why buy the cow if you get the milk free. And I thought it was an interesting presentation. They said what a shame it is to reduce a woman to a cow and so on and so forth. And it was a good presentation. But I understand the metaphor of this saying, which is if the woman is already wifing the man, why would he marry her? Like if she's cooking and cleaning and sexing him, if she is, giving him everything that she would give him if she was married to him, when he is not paying the rent or the mortgage, when he is not faithful, when he is not committed, when he is not in covenant. So you doing everything that the wife's supposed to do without him being a husband. Why would he ever have to be a husband? You got me? Okay, here's a job. Okay, we're going to pay you $1 million a year. Oh, great. That's good. Okay, but here's the thing. You don't ever have to go to work. You don't have to do nothing, but you're going to get this $1 million a year. Do you think you are going to raise your hand and volunteer to do the work? You know what? I'm going to do the work. I'm going to come in and do the work. No, dog. You're just going to get that $1 million a year. You ain't ever going to work. I know I'm preaching. Man, I know I'm preaching right now. Well, same thing with a man. If you give him everything without, he don't have to be a husband or make a commitment to you, then why would he ever do that? So, I mean, that idea in and of itself is breeding for a marriageless society. I said this years ago. I think I was on Impact Radio when I said something like this. Please type in, because I love to hear what y'all got to say. But if all the women put a lockdown on sex, oh man, marriages would skyrocket. He ain't getting none. Oh, marriage would skyrocket. Now, some of the men, they service themselves. Okay, that's strange to me, but they service themselves, and some other men, they get with other men. Okay, I guess I don't know if that would feed that population. I don't know, but if all the women would say nope, but you also would have to have a big conversation with the whore community, the whore community, escort community, the whore community, the stripper community. You'd have to have a conversation with them too, ladies. You have to get them all together and say, all right, they can't buy it. They can't pay for it. They can't buy it. Okay, you put that, there it is. Oh, dude, I would have to open up a marriage chapel, 24-hour marriage chapel, because that's all that would be happening. Nonetheless, and then when you get a little older, the men get a little older, the sex drive change and appetite, and it becomes really challenging. Why? Because now that's not the magnet that is used. You got a man 40, 50, 60 years old or even above, you are sensual and beautiful, and that's a wonderful part of life, but it's not the big, it used to be almost like 60% of the pie, but now it's like, it's like a slice. That's a part of it. It ain't the whole pie. So you guys, you got to have something else. And, there's an epidemic of women drawing men with their success. I got a house, I got a car, I got food, I make good money. All you got to do is be my man. You mean be your child. That's what you mean. You mean be your child. That man needs to be raised. I'm not looking for a woman to take care of me. I'm not looking for a woman to provide for me. I'm not looking for, that's not how a man thinks. A man is not even fulfilled in that. If you have a listen in on a lot of conversations, man, I'm talking to this girl, she got a good job, man. She got it going on. Like, what do you bring to the table? I'm doing this, I'm doing that. What do you bring to that? I mean, okay, good. I mean, I guess it's fine. I guess you want some, I don't know. But I don't think like that. I'm a man. I'm a man. I don't need nobody to take care of me. I'm a man. I've been raised different. I got different tools put in me. Now, listen to me. I'm about to get into some heavy stuff now. I'm going over time today, just about 10 minutes or so. But I got some heavy stuff for you. There are a lot of women who are raising their sons by themselves. You're raising your son by yourself. And you said, boy, I wish I had a man or his father to help me. Oh, I need some help. You're carrying a little baby, or you got a little man, y'all walking or whatever. I wish I had my man here to help me. And if you really had a real man, you would be surprised of the way he would help you. The little baby's crying, and the mama says, oh, I wish I had my man, my husband, a husband, whatever that is, to help me. So instead of me running over and picking up the baby and stopping the baby from crying, he could run over and pick up the baby and stop the baby from crying. And if you really had a good man, a strong man, a knowledgeable man that's going to raise a young boy, that man would actually help raise the son, but not by continuing to spoil the son. Like the help that a man would give in raising a son is to make sure he knows how to survive. So every little thing that goes wrong, if a man is present in raising a son, he don't fix every little thing that's broke. When a baby is a little small, the baby needs to be smothered with love. You have a license to spoil. He's a little guy. You got a license to spoil him and do everything you want to do. You could do that. Little man. But as he coming up to 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, okay, now it's time to let him cry. He'll get through it. Let him figure it out. Let him understand. He don't get picked up all the time. And then he get popped because he don't do what he's supposed to do. And he know better. And then when you throw you out and you throw a tantrum and all that kind of stuff. Oh, no. You break that. You got to break that spirit. And a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times women are not wired that way to break that spoiled behavior. But they let that spoiled behavior continue. And again, we have another little boy that doesn't grow up to become a leading man, a strong man, a man that is self-reliant, self-sufficient, independent, INDEP. I don't know how to spell it. Independent. Check that out. Now, it's interesting. I was reading through some stuff, right? And I like fictional stuff. I like the superheroes. I like the monsters and all that. I mean, it's just entertainment for me. But this person put a different twist on King Kong. I never heard this, some African American history and some racist twist, and read some different stuff. And they were saying in the 1920s, coming out of slavery, here they come out with this movie King Kong, and it was racist based in its conception, in the narrative. I just never heard this, right? And they go into it, and it's talking about how our Caucasian counterparts, depict this story of going over to some foreign island somewhere. And the natives, the black folk, are ignorant, dumb, unlearned, uneducated. They're unevolved, and they're terrorized by a big giant ape. But that big giant ape, metaphor for black man, loves the white woman. So the ape, King Kong, sees the white woman. Oh, and like he ain't net, like he don't like these black women. He don't he saw a lot of black women around, and they got on grass skirts and dance and everything else. He don't like them. But when he saw the ivory-skinned white woman, King Kong stopped in his tracks. Ooh, and he loves this white girl. I mean, this guy's writing this. I'm like, what? I never saw this, right? And I don't know how true it is, but this was his perspective. And I promise you, I'm not going to let it ruin my perspective. I still enjoy King Kong and every version of it. I just like it, right? So he goes in this narrative and he says that, so what the white man does is they capture King Kong and they bring him to America to entertain them, to work for them. And they take him to Broadway and they got a big show. And he is mad and sad and heartbroken. And all these white folk are just getting rich off of the black King Kong. I'm telling you, this thing just like blew my mind, right? I mean, is anybody tracking with me? Did I lose y'all? Did I lose y'all? Did I lose it? I don't know. Am I still here? Did I lose y'all? I don't know if I didn't ruffled up folks' feathers and stuff. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Because y'all. Okay. Well, until King Kong sees the white woman. That wasn't Lois Lane. It was, I don't know what she was. But he saw the white woman. And the big monster King Kong wakes up. And he goes crazy. And he breaks free until he get his white woman. And then he climbs the Empire State Building. And the society that took him out of his environment, the environment that was surrounded by people his color and all that in the jungle. We tried to bring him over here in our civilized area. Let him make us rich. He broke free of the chains. And his motivation was the white woman. Oh man, I'm telling you, this little reading had me messed up. And said he climbed the Empire State Building. He's up there with his white woman. And now the same society that brought him over here to make money is killing him, shooting him. Here come the planes. Here come the planes. They shooting. He's ripping at them. Y'all know the story. Y'all know the story. Until he falls to his death. Boom. It wasn't the planes that killed the beast. Beauty killed the beast, right? Oh, right. And they're just writing all these metaphors and they're talking about how that this was a depiction of their ideal about blacks and about the black man and this, that, and the other. And I hate to say it. Some of these stereotypes are true. I hate to say it. Why is it when the black man gets a few dollars, he want a white woman? What is that? He don't a lot of. Is that? I don't know what that is. What is that? What is that? And they don't care if you get a white woman. Some parts of our culture and community still looks at you like King Kong from the jungle, out of control, and systems are put in place to bring you down. I mean, it was just an interesting thing, right? And all I could do today is reflect on raising a son. You all, I cannot tell you how important it is. I cannot tell you how important it is, how important fathers are, how important it is that our sons get the right stuff in them, right tools, right understanding, right perspective of themselves, understanding their environment, understanding the systems of the world that we live in, understanding their own creativity, understanding how to survive, either by swimming or on broken pieces, how to survive, work ethic, intestinal fortitude, having inner strength, having self-confidence, staying away from drugs, staying away from crime that keeps you out of a system that, man, you get a felony on your record, man, that's a mess. It's like tar. You can't hardly get it off. You're dealing with the wrong women, and you know, she's sending you all the right signals, and then you kissing and hugging, and the next thing you know it, she didn't say you did something inappropriate. You grabbed her, you touched her, you raped her, or you forced yourself. I don't know what could be said, but dude, once you get that on you, that's a jacket, that's a tar. It's so hard to get off of you. You can give yourself to drugs and alcohol, and the addiction kicks in. Even now, all this sports betting and gambling, that stuff, I don't do that. I don't do that because it can be so addictive, and it's just so hard to recover. And I feel so sorry for these women. I feel sorry for these women. I feel so sorry for them. Now, women are looking outside their race. Some of them are looking at their own gender. All kind of stuff is happening because they want a husband, but there's very few candidates that could fill the bill. And here I am trying to preach. You need a saved man. You need a Christian man. You need a man full of faith and power. You need a man got a job. You need a man understand business and finance. You need a man that's not acting like a woman. You need a man that's got vision. Dude, every time I say something, you just raise the bar higher and higher and higher. Like, where is he at? Okay, well, where is he at? Where is he at? We have to raise and train our sons. There's no perfect man. There's no perfect woman. But you can have a job and hold a job, or even have a business, or have a dream and follow your dream. Some of these boys, here you got a woman. The woman is she more business than you. She's more successful than you. She, women sitting around, she got to encourage you. It's like, is she your mama? Is that your mama? Mama, I love you. You know, I love you. But I'm not dissing mamas. But these women, these men, they get a woman in their life that help them get a job, show them what to do with their gift, show them how to organize, show them how to dress, show them how to talk, show them how to comb their hair, show them how to, like, is this your mama? You like what is you? What do you don't have no, like, what happened? Who raised you? Where is your father? Who raised him? Who gave him what he needed? How about the young men that are more men than their own father? They meet their father and they find out he need a job. It's like, son, can you get me on? Can you get me? Really? That's a bad portrait, y'all. And we have to change that image. I'm doing my part. I'm going to teach. I'm going to preach. I'm going to inspire. I'm going to mentor. I'm going to impart life and truth to all my sons and all those that you can get to listen. But also my Making of a Man book. Y'all get that book. But I got this class. This is a whole course. I think it's 10 lessons, The Making of a Man. Minister Erica, how many lessons is that? I think it's 10 lessons. That is the most powerful tool that I could give you all. And I'm telling you, this is not just, okay, you need to get a boy of 13 years old and let him go through it. That would be great. But I'm telling you, women, single moms, even adults, grandparents, you need to hear this teaching because it'll change your thinking. It will open up your mind and you will say, man, I'm doing this one thing wrong and this is going to ruin this kid. He will not be qualified to be anybody's husband. He will not be qualified to be anybody's father. And yet he will live his life and he'll become somebody's husband. He'll live his life and he'll become somebody's father. And he won't even have the tools necessary to be a father, to be a husband. And there's going to be some women that are disappointed, and there's going to be a lot more divorces, and there's going to be a lot more kids that have an absentee father, that have a father that don't have a clue about being a father. That nurturing, that training, that loving, that teaching, that mentoring, that impartation, that correction is important. Is important. It is no coincidence. It ain't no coincidence that God is presented in the Holy Scriptures as our Father. This tells us that the closest image that we have to God is our Father. Did you hear me? The closest image that we have to God is our Father. So what do you do when your father is not a provider and your father is not a protector and your father is not a leader and your father is not present and your father is, but this is supposed to be this is the blueprint. This is the model for God. Well, these things they got to be put in the ingredients. They got to be put in the mixture of the young son that's being raised. Oh, and through these courses, y'all, I teach you how to do it. I'm telling you, I give it to you. I give it to you. All right. I done gone too long. I love you. Y'all know I love you. Thank you, Minister Erica, mypu.org. Y'all need to go check that out. Y'all should get that. Y'all should get that. Do yourself a favor and get that. Do that. Do yourself a favor. Take that course. Read that book. Give yourself to some, because you got grandkids, you got sons. And even if your sons are already grown, dude, better late than never. Better late than never. Because the day is going to come, mama, you're going to die. You're going to go home and be with Jesus. And who your son going to call? Who going to help pay their rent? Who Lenora, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. No, Ghostbusters is not gonna help your son. The Ghostbusters is not gonna pay their rent. The Ghostbusters is not gonna get them out of jail. The Ghostbusters is not gonna keep their phone on. Ma, can you keep my phone? Ma, I need some money for some food. Ma, can you help me? Ma, dude, be a man. Be a man. I love my mama, but I don't call my mama for nothing. I ain't called my mama for nothing in years. I love my mama. I just want to bless my mama. But to call her and ask her for her money, for her help, I want her wisdom. I want her blessing. But I don't want to. I'm a man. I am a man. Now, my father, he didn't preach. He didn't pray. He didn't prophesy. But he was a man. He took care of himself. Especially in his younger days, he was a hustler. He was a hustler. Okay, he wasn't a corporate America man. But he kept his head above water. Dude, he could build your house. He could wire your house. He could do the plumbing in your house. He could fix your car. He could fix the roof. He could paint. He could cut the grass. He could do whatever he needed. He was a man. He was a man. Okay, that's it. That's it. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I want y'all to sow today. Let's sow. Let's give. Let's give. I want to call for a $12 offering. I want to ask 5 people if they would consider sowing a $50 offering today. want to ask everyone to sow a $12 offering. I want to call 5 of you to sow a $50 seed. If you can, if you're blessed, if you're in a position to do that, just release it in Jesus' name and watch God multiply it back to you. But everybody else, put your hands on $12 and sow it today. Give and be a blessing. Y'all like this and share this. I want y'all to like it and share it. People need to hear this kind of conversation. I hope I didn't mess up your King Kong. I like King Kong. I might watch King Kong and Godzilla coming up, but I like that. But it was an interesting concept. Interesting. All right. I love y'all. Holy Spirit, I thank you. And I pray your blessing upon the people of God. I've given them the truth. I may have upset some people today, but I gave them the truth, Lord. I gave them the truth. And let the truth make them free. I pray that you would continue to inspire the support that this ministry needs to continue to go forth and do all that you called us to do. I thank you for it in advance. Now bless your people and let your favor be on this day. In Jesus' name, amen. I love you. Love you. One more time. Love you. Till tomorrow. Peace to the family.
Attention, all parents. There will be in-person Sunday school at 9 a.m. for the ages of 5 to 11, starting Sunday, March 5th. Also, join us for our teen service Zoom meeting for the ages of 12 to 18. This will be held every Sunday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. See you there. Join Bishop Eric K. Clark and Dr. Bernard Jordan for the Pastors and Leaders Conference. The conference will be held in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The theme, Leading from the Future. The dates for this event, Thursday, October 5th and Friday, October 6th, 2023. The place for this event, the Hilton Fort Lauderdale Beach Hotel. Registration is $1,000. Visit our website for more information. Book your conference trip now.
Thank you for tuning in to The Daily Bread with Bishop Eric Kincaid Clark. Remember to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and share this word with your family and friends.